Good evening everyone and welcome to ReinaMoesDesigns. And today we're going to be creating a beautiful pedestal vase that will save you so much money from a competitor that I saw online. So if this interests you, please keep on watching. Okay, so what we're going to need to create this particular vase is just some few staple glass pieces that you actually can find at your local Dollar Tree. I found this inspiration piece online at efavormart.com and I just thought it was so beautiful. But when receiving these, because I actually purchased them, when receiving them they came to me damaged. And it was a hard time trying to get the issue resolved, and it still is left unresolved. So I said, you know what, I like this look. I know it'll look great at my parents' anniversary party, and I wasn't gonna settle for spending all the money that I spent multiple times over for multiple tables to have them received damaged and can't find a resolution for them. So with the help of a simple bud vase from Dollar Tree, as well as an ashtray from Dollar Tree, and either the 2-pack of votive holders or the 4-pack of condiment glass containers that you find in the kitchen area at Dollar Tree, I'm gonna create, and some other things that I found from Amazon, I'm going to create a beautiful replica of that same picture. So just keep watching. I found this today at a store that's brand new to me, but it's been around for a while, called Rockler, and it's a woodworking store. I have messed up so many of these votive holders with epoxy in it, and now that I'm looking for these in Dollar Tree, they just can't be found for some reason. So when I went into Rockler and I saw that they had this silicone base, which is a glue set, as you can see, it's a 3-piece glue set, and because it's made out of silicone, the glue or whatever dries and it just pops out. So I decided to get it and try it for the epoxy. So the first thing that I'm going to do is mix up the epoxy, and I'm going to be using the 2-part Gorilla Glue epoxy, because I've run out of the epoxy that I normally get from the Dollar, Epic Dollar and King Dollar. Those places I usually can find the smaller pack of the 2-part epoxy. But this is actually going to work out better because I can mix up smaller batches, so that while one part of the vase actually sets and cures, I can be working on the next set. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and mix up my epoxy, and we're going to get started. With the illusion of editing, we go from clear to gold. Now these are a couple of stirrers basically that I found at Rockler, and it's a set of 3, and I decided to use the smallest one to actually mix up the epoxy, which you see me doing here. I'm just pulling the tab off of the epoxy. I'm gonna squirt the A and the B part inside of the silicone tray, and then I'm just gonna mix those together. And once I mix them together for a few seconds, they'll be well incorporated into each other, and they'll be ready for me to actually affix and apply to the bottom base of the glass bud vase like you see here. And I'm just going to recap it after I put a little bit of air into the glue so that it'll be easier to open the next time around. And now I'm just going to make sure that I line up the ridges on the bud vase and affix them together and set them aside to cure. So this part, I actually get to take the vessel that has been spray painted And around the edge, just go ahead and add some more epoxy so that I can affix it to the actual base of what our centerpiece or vase will be, which is that ashtray. Now it's up to you how you want to affix it. I have the ashtray flipped upside down because that's the way I want my base to be. Alright, so once everything has set and cured, you have your base with the two pieces, the ashtray as well as the piece of glass that you find in the kitchen area, the little condiments holder. Then I have both of the bud vases glued together or epoxy together, and they've cured. You'll notice that there's a slight lean here, and that's because, as we know, everything at the Dollar Tree is not perfect, and once you put all of the pieces together, it's off just a little bit. But the best way to fix that is with something that people normally put on the bottom of their vessels anyway, especially when it's crystal, and that's these felt pad protectors. Now I got this from Dollar Tree. They have them in the strips like this. They also have them in like a multi-pack of different sizes that are circle, and they're darker brown, but sometimes you can find them in this here beige, and sometimes you can find them in green. So I'm actually going to just take a piece of the strip, cut it, and I'm going to place it on the corner here, and it's going to lift up this particular vessel and make it even. So while I do that, I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you guys how I put the felt pads on here, and if you'll notice, you'll see I have some that have 2 pieces. This one has 4 pieces. This one only has 1 piece, and I put everything in the recession where the cigarette would go. And this one also has 1 piece because that's what it actually took for me to make this level. And what I do is I use the leveler here, and as you can see, the bubble is just off just a little bit, but if I put another piece of the felt, it's going to be off a little bit more. So it really just depends on which way it is that you're looking at it. Like you can see here, because the glass is off, that it's completely off level. But when you turn it in this direction and you put the level in there, it's still in between the spaces of the level. So it really just depends on how you set it on the table. But just looking with the naked eye, it looks like it is perfectly straight. But just know that's a little trick that you can use. Just putting a simple piece of felt pad on the bottom in the 4 areas or the 1 area, and that'll fix it right on up. So now we're on to the next step. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys how the epoxy, can you tell it's not liquid anymore? And with this silicone, it's just peeling up like rubber. It's really, really neat. So I'm gonna see about putting a link in the description box, but if you happen to have a Rockler near you, go in and check out that store. You will be so very amazed. It's a really cool store. But now back to our project. I have gone ahead and affixed everything together, set it aside, let everything cure, and now is the time that we're going to actually go in with the decorating and with the embellishments. And so what I actually want to do is I'm going to be using, and I will put a link down below, I picked this up from Amazon, and these are actual crystals that go on a chandelier, and I got this long rope of crystals. So I'm going to use 4 strands at 16 crystals, and I'm also going to add, this is something else that I got from Amazon. These are some pendants, and they're the golden crystal pendants that are teardrop shaped, so I'm going to add that on the bottom. And then in between, I'll be using strands of this, which also I got from Amazon. So I'm going to start off by using hot glue and affixing these all the way around the top of the vessel, with these being right here on the corner, just like that, with the pendant. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then when I come back, I'll show you the next step. So for this, you're going to need 6 strands of these crystals. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start affixing them, and when I come back, I'll show you the final look. I sure hope you're ready for the final reveal, because she is absolutely breathtaking. And who would even think that this particular centerpiece will cost you less than $12 to make? Absolutely gorgeous. Now I added extra embellishments because you know I'm a bling girl. I'm showing you here where I added some of the thin 3mm rhinestone crystal bling. And then towards the bottom, I also used more of that same 3mm bling. And at the very bottom, I added the larger rhinestones, which I'll have all linked down below in the description box. But just look how gorgeous she came out. And I know when my mother sees this on the day of her 50th anniversary, she's gonna be ecstatic and she's gonna absolutely love it. I hope everyone enjoyed this particular video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and share this video with everyone you know. But most importantly, have an absolutely wonderful evening.